keeping you healthy, might actually be the reason your body odor gets worse after 60. It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. As we age, our metabolism slows down, our sweat glands change, and our digestive system becomes less efficient. That means the foods you eat don't break down the same way they used to when you were younger. Instead, certain compounds linger in your body longer, escaping through your breath, your skin, and your sweat. And the result? A stronger, more unpleasant odor that can make you feel self-conscious, even around your loved ones. Here's the part most seniors don't realize. Vegetables, the very foods we often think of as super healthy, can be a hidden culprit. Some are loaded with sulfur and other compounds that seep right through your pores, leaving you with an odor that soap and deodorant can't fully cover. But here's the good news: other vegetables do the exact opposite. They can naturally cleanse your system, hydrate your body, and even fight off the odors that make you feel embarrassed. So in today's video, I'm going to show you the 3 worst vegetables you should never eat if you want to control body odor after 60, and then I'll reveal the 3 best vegetables you must eat to stay fresh, confident, and odor-free every single day. Before we dive in, please subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss another senior health tip. And let me know in the comments. Type 1 if this is helpful, or 0 if you think I can improve. 3 worst vegetables you should never eat. 1. Onions and garlic. They're in almost every kitchen in America. For generations, we've been told they're healthy, great for the heart, good for circulation, even protective against colds and flu. And much of that is true. But here's what nobody told you. These same vegetables can also make you smell stronger, and the effect is especially noticeable after 60. The reason is sulfur. Both onions and garlic are packed with sulfur compounds. When you chop an onion, you can smell the sharpness right away, that sulfur being released into the air. When you cook with garlic, the aroma fills the entire house. That's sulfur too. But here's the problem. Your body doesn't break down all of those sulfur compounds. One in particular, called allyl methyl sulfide, lingers in your system for hours. It travels through your bloodstream, escapes through your lungs, and even seeps out through your skin. That's why after a garlic-heavy meal, your breath smells sharp, your sweat smells stronger, and no amount of deodorant can fully mask it. For younger people, this effect may be mild and temporary, but in seniors, the problem becomes worse. Why? Because digestion slows, liver detoxification weakens, and sweat glands change. Compounds that a 5-year-old might process in a few hours can stay in the body of a 70-year-old much longer. That means the odor isn't just stronger, it lasts longer. 2. I think of Mr. Raymond, a 8-year-old patient who loved his garlic chicken. He told me, "Doctor, I shower twice a day and still feel like people step back when I talk." His family admitted that after dinner, the smell in the house lingered for hours. Tests showed nothing medically wrong, no infection, no unusual sweat gland disorder. The culprit was simply his daily use of onions and garlic. Once he cut back, replacing garlic-heavy meals with lighter herbs, the change was remarkable. He felt fresher. His confidence returned, and even his grandchildren noticed the difference. That's the cruel irony of onions and garlic. They're healthy for the heart, yes, but they're also powerful odor makers, especially in seniors whose bodies can't process sulfur as efficiently. Eat too much, and you're not just seasoning your food, you're seasoning your sweat. So remember this: onions and garlic, while healthy in small amounts, can silently sabotage your freshness after 60. If you think garlic and onions are surprising, Wait until you hear about the leafy green vegetables that can also make odor worse for seniors. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now, let's move on to point number 2. 2. Cruciferous vegetables like cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower. For decades, these have been celebrated as superfoods. They're high in fiber, packed with vitamins, and even linked to lower cancer risk. Doctors often tell patients to add more of them to their plates. And yes, they do provide health benefits. But here's the side of the story no one talks about. These same vegetables can quietly worsen body odor, especially in seniors. Why? The answer is sulfur again. Cruciferous vegetables contain a special group of sulfur compounds called glucosinolates. When you chew and digest them, those compounds break down into hydrogen sulfide gas. If that name sounds familiar, it's because hydrogen sulfide is the very same chemical that gives rotten eggs their unmistakable smell. That gas doesn't just stay in your stomach, it escapes through your breath and your pores. For younger bodies, the effect may pass quickly, but for older adults, whose digestive systems process food more slowly, the smell can linger far longer. Imagine this: you sit down for dinner, enjoy a bowl of steamed broccoli, and think you've done something wonderful for your health. A few hours later, though, your family notices a sharp, sulfur-like odor in the living room. You shower, you change clothes, but the smell seems to follow you. That's not your imagination. It's the sulfur compounds escaping through your skin. I once treated Mrs. Lane, a 72-year-old retired librarian, who came to me feeling embarrassed. She said, "Doctor, I eat healthy, but people avoid sitting near me at church. I don't understand why." We reviewed her diet, and it turned out she was eating cabbage soup nearly every day. While it helped her lose weight, it was also flooding her system with sulfur. Once she reduced her intake and swapped some servings for spinach and parsley, her confidence slowly returned. She told me later, "I didn't realize my healthy choice was making me feel so isolated." That's the tricky truth. Cruciferous vegetables are nutritious, but for seniors, too much can cause social discomfort. It's not about eliminating them completely, it's about moderation and balance. A small serving here and there is fine. But daily, heavy portions? That's when odor becomes a real problem. So the lesson is clear: even the healthiest foods can have hidden downsides. If you think cabbage and broccoli are harmless, wait until you hear about a vegetable that doesn't just cause odor, it creates a very specific smell in both sweat and urine. Now, let's move on to point number 3. 3. Asparagus. It's a vegetable, often praised as elegant, served at fancy dinners or recommended as a nutrient-dense side dish. Many seniors choose asparagus because it's low in calories, high in fiber, and loaded with vitamins like A, C, and K. On the surface, it seems like a smart, healthy choice. But there's one problem almost everyone who eats asparagus knows: within hours, your body starts to smell different. And after 60, that smell can be even stronger, harder to hide, and far more embarrassing. Here's why. Asparagus contains a unique compound called asparagusic acid. When your body breaks it down, it produces sulfur-based byproducts. These compounds are volatile, which means they easily escape into the air. They leave the body not only through urine, giving it a distinct odor, but also through sweat. For younger people, this odor may fade quickly, but for seniors, whose metabolism is slower and detox systems less efficient, these compounds hang around longer. That means the smell of asparagus doesn't just stop in the bathroom, it follows you into your day, on your skin, and in your breath. I recall Mr. Bennett, a 70-year-old retired engineer. He loved asparagus and made it part of his dinner 3 nights a week. His wife finally admitted that she dreaded those evenings because, the next morning, the whole bedroom had a lingering odor she couldn't stand. Mr. Bennett was mortified. He had been showering twice a day, using cologne, even changing his clothes more often, but nothing seemed to help. The problem wasn't hygiene. It was simply the sulfur compounds from asparagus lingering in his system. Once he cut back to having asparagus once a month instead of weekly, the problem nearly disappeared. That's the reality for seniors. Asparagus may be nutritious, but the side effect is real, strong, unpleasant odor that no amount of soap or deodorant can mask. It's not dangerous in small amounts, but it can rob you of confidence in social settings and make you self-conscious in your own home. So remember, even so-called premium vegetables can have hidden downsides. For seniors, asparagus is one of the worst offenders when it comes to odor. Eat it occasionally if you enjoy it, but don't make it a regular part of your diet if staying fresh and odor-free is your priority. Now, here's the good news. Not all vegetables cause odor. In fact, some fight it. There are vegetables that cleanse your system, neutralise sulfur compounds, and actually make you smell fresher. If you think asparagus is bad, wait until you hear about the herbs that can turn your body into its own natural deodorizer. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now, let's move on to point number 4. 3. Vegetable you must eat to stop body odor after 60. 1. Parsley and mint. These are not just garnishes to decorate your plate. They are powerful, natural odor fighters that can transform the way your body smells from the inside out. For centuries, cultures around the world have used herbs like parsley and mint to freshen the breath and cleanse the body. And for seniors, they're more than just flavor. They're a simple, natural way to neutralize body odor. The secret lies in chlorophyll. Both parsley and mint are rich in this natural green pigment, which acts as a gentle internal cleanser. Chlorophyll binds with sulfur compounds and other odor-causing chemicals in your digestive tract, helping to neutralize them before they can escape through your sweat or breath. On top of that, mint contains refreshing essential oils like menthol, which not only leave your mouth feeling clean but also give your body an overall fresher scent. Think of it this way: onions and garlic load your system with sulfur that leaks out through your skin, but parsley and mint act like a sponge, soaking up those compounds and reducing their effect. The result? Less odor, more confidence, and a feeling of freshness that even deodorant alone can't provide. Let me tell you about Mrs. Harding, a 8-year-old grandmother who came to me frustrated. She loved cooking with garlic, but hated the way it made her feel afterward. Her grandchildren would hug her and say, "Grandma, you smell funny." It broke her heart. I suggested a simple change: sprinkle fresh parsley into her meals and drink mint tea after dinner. Within weeks, her family noticed the difference. Her breath was cleaner, and her body odor was lighter. She told me with a smile, "Doctor, I feel like myself again. I don't worry about hugging my grandkids anymore." The beauty of parsley and mint is how easy they are to add to your daily routine. Toss a handful of parsley into a salad, blend it into a smoothie, brew a cup of mint tea after dinner. Even chewing a few fresh leaves after a meal can make a real difference. Small habits add up to big changes, especially after 60. when your body needs a little extra help to stay odor-free. So here's the takeaway. Parsley and mint are nature's deodorants. They don't just cover up odor, they fight it at the source. If you think herbs are powerful, wait until you see what a simple vegetable like cucumber can do to cool your body and wash away odor from the inside. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now, let's move on to point number 2. 2. Cucumber. At first glance, it might seem too simple, too ordinary. But when it comes to fighting body odor, cucumber is one of the most powerful vegetables you can add to your diet. Why? Because cucumbers are more than 95% water. And that hydration is exactly what your body needs to flush out toxins and reduce odor from the inside out. Here's how it works. When your body is dehydrated, sweat becomes more concentrated. That concentrated sweat mixes with bacteria on your skin, creating a stronger Shapa odor. Seniors are especially vulnerable because the sense of thirst weakens with age, meaning many older adults walk around slightly dehydrated without even realizing it. Cucumbers help solve that problem. With every bite, you're adding hydration, minerals, and antioxidants that cool your system and dilute odor-causing compounds before they ever reach your pores. But cucumber does more than hydrate. It's also rich in chlorophyll and antioxidants, which work like natural cleansers. They help neutralize sulfur and ammonia inside your digestive tract, two of the main culprits behind unpleasant smells in sweat and breath. In other words, cucumber doesn't just cover odor, it helps prevent it at the source. Let me tell you about Mrs. Alvarez, a 70-year-old woman who struggled with strong body odor despite showering twice a day. She was embarrassed at social gatherings and even avoided hugging her friends at church. When we looked at her diet, I noticed she rarely ate raw vegetables and often skipped drinking water. I recommended something simple: add cucumber slices to her daily meals and drink cucumber-infused water in the afternoon. 3 weeks later, she came back, glowing. Her odor had decreased dramatically, and she felt confident enough to join her walking group again. She told me, "Doctor, I never thought something so simple could make me feel this fresh." The best part about cucumbers is how easy they are to include. You can eat them raw in salads, blend them into smoothies, or slice them into water for a refreshing drink. They're cheap, available year-round, and gentle on the stomach, perfect for seniors who need both hydration and odor control. So remember this: cucumbers are nature's cooling system. They hydrate, cleanse, and keep you smelling fresh from the inside out. And if you think cucumber is helpful, wait until you hear about spinach, the green powerhouse that fights odor with chlorophyll and strengthens your body at the same time. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now, let's move on to point number 3. 3. Spinach. Of all the vegetables you can add to your diet, spinach might be one of the most powerful when it comes to fighting body odor, especially after 60. Why? Because spinach is loaded with chlorophyll, the green pigment in plants that works as nature's own deodorizer. Here's how it works. When you eat spinach, the chlorophyll inside it helps bind with sulfur and ammonia compounds in your digestive system, the very same compounds that escape through your sweat and cause odor. Think of chlorophyll as a cleanup crew that sweeps away the chemicals before they reach your skin. On top of that, spinach is rich in magnesium, a mineral that helps balance your body's pH and supports healthy bacteria in your gut. Both of these effects work together to reduce the unpleasant odors that can make seniors feel self-conscious. Spinach also supports better circulation and oxygen delivery. When your blood flows more freely, your body can process waste products more efficiently. That means fewer toxins building up and fewer odor-causing compounds escaping through your pores. For seniors, whose bodies naturally detox more slowly, spinach offers a gentle, daily boost. Let me share the story of Mr. Thomas, a 72-year-old retired carpenter. He came to me complaining that despite good hygiene, his grandchildren would sometimes pull away when hugging him. His wife admitted that he had a strong smell, especially after meals. Looking at his diet, I noticed he was eating cabbage almost daily but hardly any leafy greens besides lettuce. I recommended he swap a few servings of cabbage with spinach. Within a month, the change was obvious. His wife smiled and said, "Doctor, he smells like himself, again, not like the kitchen after dinner." Mr. Thomas felt confident enough to attend social events he had been avoiding. The beauty of spinach is its versatility. You can steam it, saute it, blend it into smoothies, or eat it raw in salads. It's affordable, widely available, and gentle enough for seniors to digest. Unlike cruciferous vegetables, spinach doesn't produce heavy sulfur gases. Instead, it delivers freshness from the inside out. So remember this, spinach isn't just good for your muscles, it's good for your confidence. By cleaning up odor-causing compounds and nourishing your blood, spinach helps seniors smell fresher and feel more comfortable every day. If you've ever worried about how you smell, adding spinach to your plate could be one of the simplest, most effective solutions. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now that we've covered the 3 worst and 3 best vegetables, let's bring it all together in the conclusion. We've covered a lot today. You've learned that some of the vegetables you thought were always healthy can actually work against you when it comes to body odor. Onions and garlic may be good for the heart but release sulfur that seeps into your sweat. Cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower are packed with nutrients, but their sulfur gases can make odor worse. And asparagus, despite its elegance, leaves behind compounds that follow you long after the meal is over. But you've also discovered the good news. There are vegetables that fight odor instead of causing it. Parsley and mint act as natural deodorizers, neutralizing odor-causing compounds. Cucumber hydrates and cools your body, flushing out toxins before they escape through your pores. And spinach, rich in chlorophyll and magnesium, cleanses your system and helps you smell fresher every day. The lesson is simple. After 60, what you eat shows up, not just in your health, but in how you smell. Soap and deodorant can only go so far. True freshness starts inside your body, with the choices you make at the table. So tonight, when you prepare your dinner, ask yourself, is this meal going to protect my confidence or put it at risk? Every bite you take can either add to the problem or help you feel fresher, cleaner, and more comfortable in your own skin. If this video helped you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and tell me how I can improve. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another tip designed to help seniors live healthier, fresher, and more confident lives. Because your health, to your confidence, and even the way you smell, it's all in your hands. They told you that eating cheap food is harmless as long as it keeps you full. But here's the shocking truth. After the age of 60, some of the cheapest foods in your kitchen can quietly strip away your muscles, weaken your legs, and rob you of the independence you've worked your whole life to protect. And nobody warns you because confusion sells. The food industry knows that when seniors are left guessing, They keep buying the same cheap but harmful options that make them weaker year after year. Here's the reality. After 50, the human body naturally loses 1–2% of muscle mass every single year. By the age of 80, that adds up to nearly 30%, and when muscle fades, so does balance, strength, and confidence. Suddenly, climbing stairs feels harder. Getting out of a chair feels like a struggle, and one wrong step can turn into a devastating fall. What's worse is that the very foods many older adults reach for because they are affordable, convenient, and familiar are often the ones silently accelerating this decline. But there is good news. You don't need expensive supplements, overpriced protein powders, or luxury cuts of meat to fight back. The strongest seniors I've met didn't spend hundreds of dollars each month on fancy diets. Instead, they chose smart, affordable foods that their bodies could actually use to build and preserve muscle. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain. You'll discover the 3 worst cheap foods you should never touch if you want to protect your muscles, and the 3 best cheap foods you must eat if you want to stay strong, mobile, and independent. These are everyday items that cost less than a cup of coffee, yet they can make the difference between aging with freedom or aging with fear. So stay with me until the very end, because the number 1 food on our must-eat list costs pennies per serving and has been proven to protect seniors better than supplements that cost 20 times as much. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 3. Worst cheap food you should never touch. 1. Instant noodles. When most seniors think of instant noodles, they see comfort and convenience. A steaming bowl is cheap, filling, and ready in just 3 minutes. It feels harmless, even practical, when you're on a budget. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Instant noodles can quietly eat away at your muscles after 60, leaving you weaker, more fatigued, and more vulnerable to falls. The science is simple. Instant noodles are mostly refined carbohydrates with very little protein. That means when you eat them, your blood sugar spikes, then crashes. Without enough protein to repair and build tissue, your body is forced to take amino acids from your own muscles to keep energy levels stable. Over time, this constant borrowing accelerates muscle loss, and it doesn't stop there. Instant noodles are also loaded with sodium and preservatives. High sodium levels increase inflammation and water retention, which further damage aging muscles and joints. Chronic inflammation is one of the hidden drivers of sarcopenia, the age-related decline in muscle mass. Let me tell you about Mrs. Thompson, a 70-year-old widow from Michigan. After her husband passed away, she often turned to instant noodles for dinner because they were cheap and easy. She thought she was saving money. But within months, she noticed her legs felt weaker and climbing stairs left her breathless. A checkup revealed she had lost significant muscle mass and her blood pressure was climbing, fueled by the excessive sodium in her diet. Sitting across from me, she whispered, "Doctor, I thought I was just eating something simple. I didn't know it was making me lose my strength." Oh, that's the cruel price of relying on instant noodles. What looks like an affordable meal can cost you independence. Weak muscles mean difficulty rising from a chair, slower walking speed, and a higher risk of falls that can send you to the hospital. And once you lose that strength, rebuilding it is far harder after 60. So remember this: instant noodles may save you a few dollars at the checkout line, But the long-term price is your health and freedom. Replace them with a protein-rich option, even something as simple as beans or eggs, and your body will thank you. And if you think instant noodles are bad, just wait until you hear about the next cheap food, one that pretends to be meat but can silently poison your muscles even faster. If you're still watching and finding this helpful, type 1 in the comments. Now, let's move on to number 2. 2. Sausages. When you think of sausages or hot dogs, they seem like a cheap source of protein. They're meaty, tasty, and sold everywhere from backyard barbecues to grocery store shelves. For many seniors on a budget, they feel like a quick and filling option. But here's the harsh truth. Processed meats like sausages and hot dogs are one of the worst cheap foods you can eat after 60. Instead of protecting your muscles, they quietly break them down and set the stage for weakness, inflammation, and even chronic disease. The problem lies in what these products are really made of. Unlike fresh meat, sausages and hot dogs are often packed with fillers, low-quality protein scraps, and high amounts of saturated fat. They are also loaded with preservatives, especially sodium nitrites, which are known to increase inflammation in the body. For older adults, inflammation is devastating. It interferes with muscle repair, accelerates sarcopenia, and makes it harder to stay strong. The excess sodium in these meats raises blood pressure, damages arteries, and forces your heart and kidneys to work harder. Instead of nourishing your muscles, every bite adds stress to your aging body. Let me tell you about Mr. Rodriguez, a 72-year-old retired factory worker from Texas. For years, his go-to dinner was 2 hot dogs with bread because it was fast and cheap. He believed he was getting meat protein every night. But over time, he noticed his legs felt heavier and his grip strength weakened. At a routine checkup, his doctor told him his cholesterol had skyrocketed, his joints showed early signs of arthritis, and his muscle mass had sharply declined. With tears in his eyes, he admitted, "I thought I was saving money and staying strong with meat. I didn't realize I was slowly tearing my body down." That's the hidden cost of cheap processed meats. The price you pay is not just in hospital bills, it's in the loss of independence. Weak muscles mean you can't lift grocery bags, walk confidently, or play with your grandchildren the way you used to. The more often you rely on hot dogs and sausages, the faster your body surrenders strength that took decades to build. So, remember this: not all meat is real muscle food. If the package is cheap but filled with chemicals and fat, it's not giving your body what it needs. Swap those sausages for real protein sources like eggs, canned tuna, or beans, and you'll notice the difference in energy and strength. And if you think sausages are bad, wait until you see the next cheap food, a so-called healthy breakfast option. That's actually a sugar trap draining your muscles day by day. Now, let's move on to number 3. 3. Cereals. For decades, breakfast cereal has been marketed as a healthy start to the day. Bright boxes with smiling characters promise energy, fiber, and strength. Many seniors still believe pouring a quick bowl of cereal in the morning is a smart, budget-friendly choice. But here's the truth. Most of these cereals are nothing more than sugar bombs in disguise. And for older adults, they can quietly strip away muscle strength faster than almost any other cheap food. The problem lies in their ingredients. Instead of high-quality protein, most breakfast cereals are made from refined grains and packed with sugar. When you eat them, your blood sugar spikes rapidly, flooding your body with energy that disappears just as quickly. That crash leaves you tired, hungry, and weak. And because cereals contain little to no usable protein, your muscles don't get the fuel they need for repair and growth. Over time, your body begins to break down muscle tissue just to keep blood sugar stable. The science is clear. High sugar intake accelerates inflammation, raises insulin resistance, and interferes with muscle protein synthesis. For seniors, whose muscles are already less responsive to protein, that means faster muscle loss and greater risk of weakness, fatigue, and falls. And don't be fooled by labels like fortified with vitamins or whole grain. If sugar is one of the first ingredients, your muscles are paying the price. I'll never forget Mrs. Jenkins, a 6-8-year-old grandmother from Ohio. Every morning, she ate a bowl of sweet cereal with milk because it was cheap and easy. She thought the added vitamins made it a healthy habit, but within a year, she noticed she couldn't walk as far as before, and her doctor found she had lost significant leg muscle. When we traced her diet, the culprit became clear. With tears in her eyes, she told me, "I thought I was giving myself a healthy start. Instead, I was losing my strength every morning." That's the cruel price of sugary cereals. They don't just cost you a few dollars at the grocery store, they cost you energy, balance, and independence. And once your muscles are gone, rebuilding them is much harder after 60. So remember this: if your breakfast leaves you hungry before lunch, tired during the day, and weaker over time, it's not a healthy choice. Replace those sugar-packed cereals with real protein options like Greek yogurt, eggs, or beans, and you'll notice a real difference in your energy and muscle strength. If you're still with me and finding this eye-opening, type 1 in the comments. Now that we've uncovered the 3 worst cheap foods, it's time to turn the page, because the next 3 foods aren't just affordable, they're powerful allies that can actually help you rebuild muscle and stay strong for years to come. 3. Cheap food you must eat to prevent muscle loss. 1. Eggs. When it comes to affordable protein, nothing beats the humble egg. For just a few cents, you get one of the most complete and powerful muscle-building foods on earth. Yet many seniors have avoided eggs for years, worried about cholesterol or heart disease. But the science today is clear. Whole eggs are not only safe for most older adults, they are essential for keeping your muscles strong, your brain sharp, and your independence intact. The key is in their quality. Each egg contains about 6 grams of high-quality protein that your body can absorb and use almost completely. Eggs also contain leucine, an amino acid that acts like a switch, turning on muscle protein synthesis. For seniors, whose muscles become resistant to protein as they age, this leucine trigger is critical. And here's something most people don't realize: half of an egg's protein, along with vital nutrients like vitamin D and choline, and is found in the yolk, not just the white. Studies show that eating whole eggs after exercise results in 40% more muscle growth compared to eating egg whites alone. The yolk and the white work in synergy, creating a stronger response than either could provide on their own. Eggs also bring unique benefits beyond protein. Vitamin D supports muscle function and bone health, 2 areas where seniors are especially vulnerable. Choline helps protect brain health and memory, improving the mind-muscle connection that keeps you coordinated and confident in daily activities. And because eggs are naturally paired with healthy fats, these nutrients are absorbed more effectively than from supplements. Take Mr. Harris, a 74-year-old retired teacher from Florida. For years, he avoided eggs, believing they would raise his cholesterol. But after struggling with weakness in his legs, he decided to add 2 whole eggs to his breakfast every morning. Within weeks, he noticed more energy. After 3 months, his walking speed improved, his grip strength increased, and his doctor told him his cholesterol was stable. Smiling, he said, "I spent years avoiding the very food that was keeping me weak." That's the power of eggs. Affordable, versatile, and nutrient-rich. They're one of the easiest ways to protect your muscles and your independence. After 60, scramble them with vegetables, boil them for snacks, or enjoy them in an omelet. No fancy recipes required. And if you think eggs are impressive, wait until you see the next cheap protein source. It costs about $1 per can, and delivers more usable protein than most powders or supplements on the market. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to number 2. 2. Canned tuna. When you're on a budget, canned tuna may not look glamorous. It sits quietly on the bottom shelf of the grocery store, often overlooked in favor of fresh fish or expensive supplements. But here's the truth. At just about $1 per can, tuna delivers one of the most concentrated, affordable, and effective sources of protein for seniors who want to stop muscle loss and stay strong. The science is undeniable. A single 3-ounce serving of canned tuna contains about 22 grams of complete protein. That's more than most protein bars or shakes at a fraction of the price. Even more important, the protein in tuna is highly bioavailable. Research from the University of Arkansas showed that seniors absorbed and used fish protein, like tuna, with efficiency rates above 90%. That means almost every gram you eat goes directly to supporting your muscles. For older adults, whose digestion and absorption slow with age, this efficiency is priceless. Canned tuna is also naturally low in fat and calories, making it perfect for building lean muscle without adding unwanted weight. Excess body fat not only makes movement harder, it also raises inflammation and hormones that break down muscle. With tuna, you get pure muscle-building protein without the baggage, and because it contains all 9 essential amino acids in the right balance, tuna helps trigger and sustain muscle protein synthesis, the very process your body needs to maintain strength after 60. I remember Mrs. Walker, a 71-year-old grandmother from Ohio. She lived on a fixed income and worried she couldn't afford enough protein. When I suggested canned tuna, she hesitated, thinking it was too plain. But she gave it a try, adding it to salads, mixing it with vegetables, even spreading it on whole grain crackers. Within 2 months, she told me she felt steadier walking around the house. Her grip strength improved, and her energy lasted longer through the day. With tears in her eyes, she said, "Doctor, I thought staying strong was out of my reach. Who knew a $1 could give me my independence back?" That's the hidden strength in canned tuna. Affordable, easy to store, and ready to eat. It's one of the smartest protein choices seniors can make. Just remember to choose tuna packed in water, not oil, and keep portions balanced, about 2 to 3 cans per week to stay within safe mercury limits. And if you think tuna is powerful, wait until you discover the #1 cheap food for muscle protection. It's not meat. It's not dairy. It's a humble pantry staple that costs just pennies per serving, yet delivers muscle-building benefits no supplement can match. Now let's move on to number 3. 3. Beans. When most people think of beans, they picture a humble, inexpensive food, something you eat when you can't afford meat. But here's the surprising truth. Beans are not just budget-friendly. They are one of the most powerful weapons seniors can use to stop muscle loss and protect independence. At just a few cents per serving, they provide a combination of nutrients that no supplement can match. The science is impressive. A single cooked cup of dried beans contains about 15 grams of protein, along with complex carbohydrates for sustained energy, fiber for digestion, and minerals like magnesium, potassium, and iron. This unique blend doesn't just fuel your body, it creates the perfect environment for your muscles to grow and stay strong. The fiber in beans supports gut health, which is essential for nutrient absorption, and the polyphenols, plant-based compounds inside beans, fight inflammation, one of the main drivers of age-related muscle loss. Even though beans don't contain all essential amino acids in one serving, your body can easily combine them with grains or nuts eaten during the day to create complete proteins. That means you don't need steak or protein shakes to keep your muscles fed. A bowl of beans and rice, or beans with whole grain bread, can provide everything your muscles need to recover and grow. I'll never forget Mr. Carter, a 76-year-old retired bus driver. He lived alone and worried about affording healthy food. For years, he ate cheap, processed meals and felt weaker each month. When he started cooking beans in bulk, black beans in soups, chickpeas in salads, and kidney beans in stews, everything changed. Within months, he noticed his balance improving and his energy lasting longer. At his next checkup, he had regained muscle mass and even reduced his risk of falls. Smiling, he said, "Doctor, I never thought beans could give me back my strength." Oh, that's the hidden power of beans. Affordable, versatile, and deeply nourishing. They give seniors the tools to fight back against muscle loss without breaking the bank. You can mash them into spreads, stir them into soups, or serve them with grains for a complete meal. The more variety, the better the benefits. So remember this, expensive doesn't always mean better. Sometimes the cheapest foods in your pantry, like beans, carry the most life-changing power. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. And stay tuned, because next we'll bring everything together in a powerful conclusion that shows how these small choices can mean the difference between aging with freedom or aging with fear. Now you've seen the truth. Not all cheap foods are created equal. Some may look harmless, but they can quietly strip away your strength, leaving you weaker, slower, and more dependent on others. Instant noodles, processed sausages, and sugary cereals may fill your stomach, but they do nothing to protect your muscles. In fact, they rob your body of the very strength you need to stay on your feet, climb stairs, and live with confidence after 60. On the other hand, eggs, canned tuna, and beans prove that affordable foods can be your greatest allies. Eggs deliver high-quality protein and essential nutrients like vitamin D and choline, helping you rebuild muscle and sharpen your mind. Tuna offers bioavailable protein at a price no supplement can match, supporting lean muscle without unnecessary fat. And beans, simple, humble beans, combine protein, fiber, and anti-inflammatory compounds that create the perfect foundation for healthy aging. The lesson is simple. After 60, the foods you choose matter more than ever. You don't need expensive powders, luxury cuts of meat, or miracle products from late-night commercials. What you need are smart, consistent choices, foods your body can actually use. Every egg you scramble, every can of tuna you open, every pot of beans you cook, is an investment in your independence. It's a brick in the foundation of your strength, balance, and confidence. I've seen seniors who thought weakness and frailty were just part of aging. They believed they had no control. But when they replaced harmful cheap foods with the right ones, their lives transformed. They walked taller, recovered faster, and even regained activities they thought they had lost forever. That's the real power of nutrition. It doesn't just feed your body, it feeds your future. So here's my challenge to you. This week, choose one food to cut out and one food to add in. Swap that bowl of sugary cereal for eggs. Replace a hot dog dinner with tuna and vegetables. Add beans to your lunch instead of instant noodles. Small changes add up, and your body will feel the difference. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe so you never miss another tip designed for older adults in America. And comment below, which food will you change first? And before we go, remember this. There's one secret I haven't revealed yet. The simplest daily habit that doesn't just protect your muscles, but can also help you live longer and healthier. So don't miss the next video. Click now, I'll be waiting for you there. 1. Grapefruit. When most seniors in America think of a healthy breakfast, a glass of fresh grapefruit juice often comes to mind. It feels light, refreshing, and wholesome. But here's the shocking truth. For older adults taking common medications, that same glass can quietly become one of the most dangerous choices you make in a day. The science is simple. Grapefruit contains compounds called furanocoumarins. These interfere with an important enzyme in your liver that normally helps break down many prescription drugs. When that enzyme is blocked, the medicine stays in your blood longer and reaches higher levels than your body can safely handle. And what does that mean for your legs? Too much medication in your system often causes side effects such as muscle pain, night cramps, or sudden weakness. Drugs for cholesterol, blood pressure, and even anxiety are all affected. So instead of protecting your health, combining these prescriptions with grapefruit can make your muscles weaker and increase your risk of dangerous falls. I'll never forget Mr. Robert, a 70-year-old retiree from Florida. Every morning he proudly ate half a grapefruit and took his statin pill, believing he was doing everything right for his health. But within months, he developed severe leg cramps, so intense that he struggled to walk from his living room to his kitchen. One night, the spasms were so bad his wife rushed him to the ER. The doctor explained that grapefruit had been interfering with his medication, causing toxic buildup. Robert later told me, "I thought I was helping myself. I didn't know my breakfast was poisoning me." That is the heartbreaking reality. Grapefruit looks harmless, bright, juicy, and marketed as heart-healthy. But for seniors on medication, it can silently tip the balance, weakening your muscles, damaging your kidneys, and even increasing the risk of dangerous heart rhythm problems. So here's the takeaway. After 60, grapefruit is not the safe fruit you once thought it was. It can be a hidden medication trap that steals your independence one painful cramp at a time. And if you think grapefruit is bad, wait until you hear about the next fruit. It's one that almost every senior already eats, believing it prevents cramps yet in excess. It can backfire in shocking ways. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please type 1 below. Now, let's move on to point number 2. Too much bananas. For decades, bananas have been called the anti-cramp fruit. Doctors, athletes, and even television commercials promoted bananas as the best way to stop muscle cramps. And it's true, bananas can help when eaten in moderation. But here's the surprising part. After 60, Eating too many bananas can quietly do more harm than good. Bananas contain a lot of potassium, a mineral that keeps your muscles working properly. But after treads, the kidneys don't always clear out extra potassium as well as they used to. When too much stays in your blood, the balance is lost. Think of it like electricity running through a wire. The right amount keeps everything smooth, but too much causes sparks. That's when cramps, weakness, or even heart problems can appear. Let me tell you about Evelyn, a 74-year-old grandmother from Ohio. She loved bananas and often ate 2 or 3 every single day. Better than cookies, she told her daughter. But after a few months, her legs felt heavy, she was always tired, and her calves cramped almost every night. Blood tests later showed her potassium was too high. The fruit she thought was helping her was actually making her sick. Evelyn said with tears, "I thought bananas were harmless. I never imagined they could hurt me." 2. That's the hidden risk. Bananas are cheap, easy, and advertised as healthy. And yes, 1 banana a day is fine for most seniors. But eating them in excess, especially if you also take blood pressure medicine or your kidneys aren't strong, can quietly push your body out of balance. The price you pay isn't just cramps. It can mean weakness, dizziness, or even a dangerous fall. So remember, bananas are not the enemy. But after treads, portion size matters more than ever. 1 banana a day is safe. 3 or 4 might hurt. And if you think too many bananas are a problem, wait until you hear about dried fruits, the healthy snacks that can spike your blood sugar as fast as candy. Now let's move on to point number 3. 3. Dried fruits. When most seniors in America think of a healthy snack, they often reach for raisins, dates, or prunes. These are sold in every grocery store, often marketed as natural, wholesome, and full of fiber. But here's the truth. Many people over 60 don't realize dried fruits can silently overload your body with sugar, triggering leg cramps, circulation problems, and even diabetes. Why is that? The answer is simple. When fruit is dried, the water is removed, but the sugar stays concentrated. A handful of raisins may look small, but it contains the same sugar as a big slice of cake. Your blood sugar shoots up quickly, then crashes just as fast. Think of your blood vessels like small roads. Too much traffic at once causes a jam, damaging the roads. In the same way, sugar spikes drain your circulation, making your legs feel heavy, swollen, or crampy. Let me share Harold's story. He's 68, a retired postman from Texas. To avoid cookies, he thought he was making the smarter choice, snacking on a bowl of raisins every night. But over time, Harold began waking up at 2 a.m. with painful leg cramps. His doctor later explained that his blood sugar was rising too high. Too often, those nightly raisins were no better than eating candy. Harold sighed and said, "I thought I was being smart. I had no idea I was feeding the very problem that keeps me up at night." That's the heartbreaking reality. Seniors are told dried fruits are natural, and yes, they still contain fiber and vitamins. But after treads, your body handles sugar differently. High blood sugar doesn't just make you tired, it damages nerves, stiffens arteries, and increases the risk of cramps, tingling, and even diabetic foot problems. The price you pay is more than discomfort. It can mean losing independence if nerve damage or circulation problems force you to slow down or use a cane. So here's the takeaway. Dried fruit is not evil, but it must be eaten carefully. A few pieces sprinkled on oatmeal is fine, but a whole bowl, night after night, can be just as risky as dessert. If you want something sweet, fresh fruit with water and fiber intact is far safer for your legs and overall health. And now you've seen the 3 fruits seniors should never touch in excess: grapefruit, too many bananas, and dried fruits. But don't lose hope, because the next section reveals the 3 best fruits you should eat daily to rebuild strength, stop cramps, and keep walking strong. Now, let's move on to the best fruits for your legs. 4. Plums. When you think of plums, you probably picture a sweet summer snack, juicy, purple, and refreshing. Most seniors in America see them as nothing more than a seasonal treat. But here's the surprising truth: plums can be one of the most powerful allies for your legs, especially if cramps and circulation problems keep you up at night. Why? Because plums are loaded with potassium, the mineral that keeps your muscles contracting and relaxing smoothly. Remember, too little potassium and your muscles lock up. Too much, as with bananas, in excess, and the system goes out of balance. But plums offer just the right boost, helping your legs avoid sudden spasms. Plums also contain polyphenols, strong antioxidants that protect your blood vessels from damage. Think of your blood vessels as flexible garden hoses. Over time, sugar, stress, and aging can make them stiff or leaky. Polyphenols act like a protective coating, keeping them strong so blood flows freely to your calves and feet. That means less heaviness, less fatigue, and fewer cramps. Let me tell you about Janet, a 71-year-old grandmother from Ohio. She loved gardening, but often had to stop after just 30 minutes because her calves tightened painfully. She thought it was arthritis. But when her doctor checked her blood, the real issue was low potassium. Janet decided to change her afternoon snack. Instead of cookies, she ate 2 plums every day. Within a month, she noticed the difference. Her legs stayed loose, she could garden longer, and her blood pressure even improved. Smiling, she told me, "I never thought something so small could give me back my afternoons." That's the power of plums. They don't just ease cramps, they also support bone health. Research shows that seniors who eat polyphenol-rich fruits like plums have stronger bone density. That means less frailty and more confidence when walking or climbing stairs. How should you eat them? Fresh plums are best when in season. You can slice them into breakfast cereal, enjoy them as an afternoon snack, or add them to a fruit salad. The key is consistency. 2 plums a day can be enough to notice changes in your legs and energy. So, while dried fruits may overload your body with sugar, fresh plums do the opposite. They balance, strengthen, and refresh. And if you think plums are impressive, wait until you hear about the next fruit, a hydrating summer melon that keeps cramps away, even on the hottest days. If you're still watching, type 1 in the comments. Now, let's move on to number 5. 5. Cantaloupe. When summer heat sets in, many seniors in America notice the same problem. Their legs feel heavy, swollen, or cramp more often. It's not always age. Many times, the hidden cause is dehydration. That's why cantaloupe, a sweet orange melon that's almost 90% water, can be one of the best fruits to protect your legs. Here's why it works. Your muscles are made of nearly 70% water. Without enough hydration, blood flow slows, waste builds up, and your calves tighten. Think of it like a dried sponge. When it's dry, it cracks and stiffens, but when it's full of water, it bends and moves easily. Eating cantaloupe fills your muscle sponge back up, keeping it flexible and smooth. But hydration isn't the only benefit. Cantaloupe is also packed with potassium, which helps muscles contract and relax properly, and carotenoids like vitamin A, which protect your muscle tissue from damage. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that diets high in carotenoids were linked to less muscle weakness in older adults. In short, cantaloupe doesn't just refresh you, it actively supports your leg strength. Take George, a 73-year-old retired mechanic in Arizona. Every summer, he struggled with evening walks. His legs felt like they weighed 100 pounds each, and sometimes his calves cramped so badly he had to sit on the curb. At his daughter's suggestion, he began eating a bowl of chilled cantaloupe every afternoon. Within weeks, George noticed fewer cramps, lighter steps, and even better sleep because his legs no longer woke him at night. Laughing, he told me, "Who knew melon could give me back my evenings?" That's the hidden power of cantaloupe. It doesn't just quench thirst, it restores balance. By keeping you hydrated, it helps your circulation, protects your muscles, and even supports your heart. How can you use it? Slice it into cubes and store in the fridge for a quick snack. Blend it into a smoothie with yogurt, or pair it with berries and mint for a refreshing salad. Many seniors also enjoy it as a dessert replacement, since its natural sweetness satisfies cravings without the sugar crash. So here's the takeaway. While dehydration quietly fuels cramps and fatigue, cantaloupe acts like a cooling shield, replacing lost fluids and keeping your legs steady even on the hottest days. And if you think melon is impressive, wait until you hear about the next fruit. It's creamy, rich in healthy fats, and may be the single best way to slow down age-related muscle loss. Now, let's move on to number 6. 6. Avocado. When most seniors in America think of avocados, they picture guacamole or avocado toast. But this creamy fruit is more than just a tasty snack. It can be a powerful protector for your legs after 60. Avocados are rich in potassium and magnesium. These two minerals help your muscles contract and relax normally. Without enough of them, your legs may cramp at night or feel weak during the day. Avocados also provide healthy fats that improve blood flow and reduce inflammation. This is very important after 60, because many people begin to lose muscle mass, a condition called sarcopenia. Eating avocados regularly can help slow this process, keeping your legs stronger and your balance steadier so you can stay independent longer. Let me tell you about Linda, a 69-year-old retired teacher from New Mexico. She loved line dancing at her community center, but her calves often cramped halfway through. Her doctor suggested adding avocado to her diet. Linda began eating half an avocado with breakfast 3 times a week. Within a month, she noticed the difference. Her legs no longer locked up, and she could finish her dance sessions with ease. Smiling, she told me, "It feels like I got my freedom back." How can you enjoy it? Spread mashed avocado on toast. Add slices to a salad, or blend it into a smoothie. Even eating it plain with a pinch of salt works. The key is consistency. Just a few servings each week can make a big difference. So while fruits like grapefruit, too many bananas, and dried fruits can quietly weaken your legs, avocados do the opposite. They support your muscles, improve circulation, and help protect your independence. If you're still watching, type 1 in the comments to let me know you're here. Now that we've reached the end, let's bring everything together. You've learned about the 3 worst fruits. Seniors in America should be careful with grapefruit, too many bananas, and dried fruits. Grapefruit may interfere with common medications, raising the risk of muscle pain and weakness. Bananas, when eaten in excess, can overload your body with potassium and trigger cramps or fatigue. And dried fruits, though often called healthy snacks, are sugar bombs that can damage circulation and worsen nighttime cramps. But you've also discovered the 3 best fruits to protect your legs: plums, cantaloupe, and avocados. Plums are small but powerful, restoring potassium balance, improving blood flow, and even supporting bone health. Cantaloupe keeps you hydrated and energized, replacing lost fluids so your muscles stay steady even in summer heat. And avocados, with their minerals and healthy fats, help slow age-related muscle loss, keeping your legs strong and your balance secure. So here's the lesson. After 60, it's not about avoiding fruit, it's about choosing wisely. The same fruit that feels harmless at 30 can be risky at 70, while others can become your best defense against cramps, weakness, and loss of independence. Knowledge is power. Small choices matter. And the good news is, you can start today. Swap dried fruits for fresh plums. Replace one sugary dessert with chilled cantaloupe. Add avocado to your breakfast a few times a week. These small, simple changes can mean stronger legs, better sleep, and more freedom in your daily life. Remember this: the choices you make tonight decide how you feel tomorrow morning. Do you want to wake up tired, cramped, and afraid to move? Or do you want to rise with strength, ready to enjoy your day? That choice is in your hands. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. It really supports our work. Share it with a friend or family member who may need this advice. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell, so you never miss another simple, science-backed tip made for seniors in America. Finally, let me know in the comments, which fruit will you change starting today? Did you know that the fruit sitting in your kitchen, the one you've always believed was safe, could actually be the reason your legs cramp at night? Across America, millions of seniors over 60 wake up with stiff calves, aching thighs, or sudden spasms that steal their sleep. And yet, most of them think it's just part of aging. The truth is, it isn't always age. It can be something far more preventable, and it often starts with the food on your plate. For decades, Americans have been told that fruit is nature's medicine, always safe, always healthy. Commercials, magazines, and even doctors repeated the same message: eat more fruit, and you'll live longer. And while many fruits do protect your heart, brain, and skin, some can backfire in surprising ways. Once you're past 60, your metabolism slows down, your kidneys don't filter as well, and your blood vessels grow more fragile. That means the very fruit that gave you energy at 30 can leave you weak and cramping at 70. That's why today's video matters so much. In this episode, you'll discover the 3 worst fruits seniors in America should never touch if they want to protect their legs from cramps and weakness, and the 3 best fruits you must eat to rebuild strength, improve circulation, and sleep